In the year 2450, Earth was a shadow of its former self. Once a vibrant planet filled with life, it was now a barren wasteland. Years of war, pollution, and alien invasions had pushed humanity to the brink of extinction. The skies were often gray and the air was thick with dust. People hid in small groups, afraid to show themselves in the open. Hope was fading and despair filled the hearts of those who survived. In the midst of this chaos, a small group of brave souls stumbled upon a hidden facility. This building was buried beneath the ruins of a once great city. As they explored the dark halls, they uncovered something incredible, a cryogenic chamber filled with humans frozen in time. These were the last warriors of humanity, soldiers who had fought in a great war long ago. They had been put into cryo sleep, waiting for the day when they would be needed again. The leader of the group, a determined woman named Sarah, felt a spark of hope. She gathered her companions around her. "These soldiers could be our only chance to save humanity," she said. "If we can revive them, maybe we can fight back against the aliens and reclaim our planet." The others looked at each other, unsure of what to do. It was a risky decision. What if the soldiers were not the heroes they hoped for? What if they were dangerous? After much discussion, they agreed. Time was running out and they had to act. They began the process of reviving the soldiers, their hearts racing with anticipation. One by one, they activated the cryo chambers. Alarms blared, and the air was filled with the sound of hissing machines. Sarah held her breath as the first chamber opened. The soldier who emerged was tall and muscular, with short brown hair and piercing blue eyes. He looked around, confused and disoriented. "Where am I?" he asked, his voice deep and steady. Sarah stepped forward, her heart pounding. "You're safe now. We need your help. Earth is in danger." The soldier blinked, processing her words. "I'm Alex. What happened to the world?" he asked. Sarah explained the dire situation, the wars, the alien invasions, and the collapse of civilization. Alex listened intently, his expression growing serious. "Then we have no time to waste," he said. "We must gather the others." As the group revived more soldiers, each one had their own story and skills. There was Marcus, a tech expert with a knack for hacking. Then came Elena, a fierce fighter with a reputation for bravery. Each soldier brought their own strength to the team. With every revival, the hope among the survivors grew. Once they were all awake, the soldiers quickly formed a bond. They shared stories of their past, their battles, and their dreams of a better future. "We were fighting for humanity's survival even before we went to sleep," Alex told the group. "Now it's time to continue that fight." As they prepared for battle, the group discussed strategies. They needed to understand their enemy. The aliens had advanced technology and powerful weapons, but the soldiers had something the aliens didn't, the determination of humanity. "We know how to fight for our lives," Marcus said. "We can use guerrilla tactics to strike at their weaknesses." The group agreed on a plan to scout the nearby alien outposts. They needed to gather information before launching a full-scale attack. With renewed purpose, the soldiers donned their old uniforms, feeling the weight of their past and the hope of their future. They were no longer just relics of a forgotten time. They were humanity's last hope. As they set out into the desolate landscape, a sense of purpose filled the air. The soldiers marched with confidence, knowing they were not just fighting for themselves, but for all of humanity. The survivors watched them leave, a spark of hope igniting in their hearts. Could it be that against all odds, humanity would rise again? In this moment, with the cryogenic warriors awakened and ready to fight, a new chapter in the story of Earth began. The battle for survival was just starting, and with it, the hope for a brighter future. As dawn broke over the desolate landscape of Earth, the group of survivors stood in awe around the cryogenic chamber. The air was thick with anticipation, and they could hardly believe that the last hope for humanity was now awake. Alex, the first soldier they had revived, looked at his comrades with determination in his eyes. He could feel the weight of their expectations resting on his shoulders. "Now that we are awake, we need to assess the situation," Alex said, his voice steady and commanding. The other soldiers, still adjusting to the new world around them, nodded in agreement. They were eager to hear what had happened since they had gone to sleep. Sarah stepped forward, ready to explain. "Earth is in chaos. The alien forces have taken over many cities, and the remaining humans are scattered and scared. We need your help to unite everyone and fight back." As she spoke, the urgency of their mission grew clearer to the soldiers. The group moved into a large, dimly lit room that had once served as a training facility. The walls were lined with old equipment and weapons, remnants of past battles. "This was our home," Elena said, her voice filled with nostalgia. "We trained here to protect humanity." She picked up a dusty sword, running her fingers over the blade, remembering the power it once held. "Now we must prepare again," Marcus added, his tech-savvy mind already racing with ideas. "We can't fight the aliens without understanding their technology. I can analyze their systems and find ways to exploit their weaknesses." His eyes sparkled with excitement at the prospect of using his skills to turn the tide. The soldiers quickly regrouped and Alex took charge. "Let's split into teams. We need to scout the area and gather information about the aliens. We must also find other survivors to join our cause." The team nodded, each soldier eager to prove themselves and fulfill their purpose. As they prepared to leave the facility, the mood shifted. The group felt a mix of fear and hope. The soldiers knew they were facing a powerful enemy, but they also understood that they had been given a second chance to save their planet. The first team set out to scout a nearby alien outpost, while the second team searched for survivors in the ruins of the city. Alex led the scouting team, which included Elena and Marcus. They moved quietly through the abandoned streets, their senses heightened. Every sound echoed in the stillness, reminding them of the danger that lurked around every corner. As they approached the outpost, they spotted alien soldiers patrolling the area. "They're heavily armed," Elena whispered, her heart racing. "We need to be careful." The group hid behind a broken wall, watching the aliens' movements. Meanwhile, the other team, led by Sarah, searched the remnants of a nearby village. They called out for survivors, hoping to find others who were willing to fight. "Is anyone there?" Sarah shouted, her voice echoing through the empty streets. Suddenly, they heard a rustling sound. A figure emerged from the shadows, a young man named David. He looked thin and weary, but carried a look of determination. "I thought I was the only one left," he said, his voice trembling with emotion. "I've been hiding from the aliens for weeks." Sarah's heart swelled with hope. "Join us! We are reviving humanity's best soldiers to fight back. Together we can reclaim our planet." David nodded, and with his help, they searched the village for others. Back at the outpost, Alex, Elena, and Marcus watched the alien soldiers interact. They took notes on their technology and tactics. Marcus quickly identified weaknesses in their communication system. "If we can disrupt their signals, we can confuse them," he said excitedly. After gathering enough information, the scouting team decided to retreat. They met up with Sarah and David, who had found a small group of survivors eager to join the fight. The soldiers felt a surge of energy as they welcomed the new allies. "We are not alone anymore," Alex declared, raising his fist in the air. "Together, we will fight for our future." With a growing team of determined fighters, the group returned to the hidden facility. The soldiers began to share their knowledge and skills with the new recruits. They trained together, building strength and unity. As the sun set on the horizon, casting a warm glow over the ruins of the old world, hope blossomed in the hearts of the survivors. They were ready to rise up and take back their planet. With each passing day, the bond between them grew stronger, and the spirit of humanity began to awaken once more. As the sun rose on a new day, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and tension within the hidden facility. Alex stood in front of the assembled team of soldiers and survivors, feeling a mix of hope and fear. "Today is our first battle," he announced, his voice firm. "We will face the aliens and show them that humanity is not finished yet." The survivors, who had only recently joined them, looked both eager and terrified. Sarah stepped forward, sensing their anxiety. "Remember, we are fighting for our homes and families. We are not alone, we stand together," she said, encouraging them. "Every one of you is brave for being here today." The team gathered their weapons and supplies, ready to put their training into action. They had a plan: to attack a nearby alien outpost that they had scouted earlier. Marcus had worked tirelessly to devise a strategy to disrupt the aliens' communication systems, hoping to create chaos during the battle. As they approached the outpost, the group moved in silence, their hearts pounding. The aliens were more alert than they had anticipated. Their patrols increased. "Stay low and follow my lead," Alex whispered, taking the front as they neared the perimeter. Elena, who had trained hard in combat, was right behind him, her eyes focused. They crept through the shadows, avoiding detection. The sight of the alien guards with their strange armor and weapons fueled their determination. This is it, Elena thought, gripping her weapon tightly. Once they reached a vantage point, Marcus began to work on hacking into the aliens' communication system. "Give me a moment," he murmured, fingers flying over his device. The team watched anxiously as the minutes ticked by. "Got it!" Marcus finally exclaimed. "The signal is down!" "They'll be confused." "Now!" Alex commanded. The group charged toward the outpost, adrenaline coursing through their veins. They stormed in, shouting battle cries as they engaged the enemy. The surprise attack took the aliens off guard, but they quickly recovered, firing their weapons. The sound of blaster fire echoed through the air as both sides fought fiercely. Alex and Elena fought side by side, moving with agility. Elena's training paid off as she dodged a blaster bolt and countered with a swift kick, knocking an alien soldier to the ground. "We can do this!" she shouted, exhilarated by the rush of battle. Meanwhile, Marcus stayed at the rear, using his tech skills to disrupt the aliens' defenses. He hacked into their systems, creating illusions and false signals that caused confusion among the alien ranks. "Look at them scatter!" he yelled, grinning. "They don't know what hit them!" But the aliens quickly regrouped. They were more powerful than expected, and their reinforcements began to arrive. Alex realized they needed to change tactics. "Fall back! We need to regroup!" he shouted, trying to rally his team. They had to protect the new survivors who fought alongside them. The group retreated to a nearby building, using it as a temporary shelter. Inside, they took a moment to catch their breath and reassess the situation. "We have to be smarter," Alex said, panting. "We can't just charge in blindly. We need to use our surroundings to our advantage." As they strategized, David, who had been quiet during the battle, spoke up. "What if we set traps? We can lure them into a narrow area and take them out one by one." His idea sparked a new wave of hope. The team quickly began to prepare their plan. They set up traps around the entrance to the building, using debris and explosives they had scavenged. Once ready, they took their positions, hiding behind walls and waiting for the aliens to approach. When the aliens came to investigate, the trap was sprung. The loud blasts rang through the air as the aliens were caught off guard. The humans fought with renewed vigor, taking advantage of the chaos. "Now's our chance!" Elena yelled, charging forward. The tide of battle began to shift in their favor. One by one, the aliens fell, and the soldiers found their rhythm. Alex and his team moved as a unit, relying on each other's strengths. They worked together, demonstrating the power of teamwork and unity. After what felt like an eternity, the last alien soldier fell, and silence filled the air. The team stood together, breathing heavily and surveying the scene. They had won their first battle, but at a cost. Some of the new survivors had been injured, and the realization of what they had faced began to sink in. As they caught their breath, a sense of triumph and relief washed over them. "We did it!" Sarah exclaimed, tears of joy in her eyes. "We showed them that we will fight for our home." The group erupted in cheers, their spirits lifted. Though they had won the battle, the war was far from over. They understood that there would be more challenges ahead. But in this moment, they celebrated their victory together, united by their shared purpose and the hope of a brighter future. In the days following their first battle, the hidden facility buzzed with activity. The soldiers and survivors worked tirelessly to build their strength and prepare for future encounters with the aliens. They had tasted victory, and the taste only fueled their determination to reclaim their planet. Alex, Sarah, Elena, and Marcus gathered in the main training room, a once-abandoned area filled with old military gear. "We need to train hard," Alex said, addressing the group. "Our last victory was just the beginning. The aliens will come back stronger, and we need to be ready." Elena nodded, her eyes shining with excitement. "Let's focus on improving our skills. We need to work together, so everyone knows their role in the next battle." The group agreed, and they quickly devised a training plan that included physical conditioning, combat techniques, and teamwork exercises. The first few days of training were intense. The soldiers pushed themselves to the limit, running laps around the facility, lifting heavy equipment, and practicing hand-to-hand combat. They learned to trust one another, relying on each other's strengths to overcome their weaknesses. Each day brought new challenges, but their spirits remained high. One afternoon, Sarah led a group of survivors in a weapons training session. "Remember, it's not just about using the weapons, it's about understanding them," she explained. She demonstrated how to handle different types of guns, emphasizing safety and accuracy. You must be confident. If you hesitate, it could cost you your life. David, who had proven to be a quick learner, listened intently. Can we try using the weapons in pairs? It might help us learn faster, he suggested. Sarah agreed, and they paired off to practice shooting at targets they had set up outside. As they trained, laughter and camaraderie filled the air. The survivors felt more confident, gaining strength from their shared experiences. They began to bond, forging friendships that would help them face the challenges ahead. Meanwhile, Marcus focused on enhancing their technology. He worked tirelessly to improve their communication devices and create gadgets that could give them an edge in battle. If we can develop a way to jam the alien signals, we can disrupt their attacks, he said, excited about the potential advancements. With the help of the survivors, Marcus scavenged materials from the surrounding area. They found old tech, wiring, and even parts from abandoned vehicles. Under his guidance, they built makeshift tools that would help them in their fight. The group was amazed at how quickly they adapted to their new roles. One evening, as the team gathered around a campfire after a long day of training, they reflected on their journey. I never thought I would be here fighting for our future, Elena said, gazing into the flames. But now I can't imagine doing anything else. The others shared similar thoughts, expressing their gratitude for the chance to be part of something bigger than themselves. Alex felt a swell of pride as he listened to them. We are more than just a group of survivors, we are a family now. We will stand together, no matter what comes our way. The words resonated deeply, strengthening their resolve. As the days turned into weeks, their training intensified. They conducted mock battles, practicing their strategies and communication under pressure. The group learned to adapt quickly, responding to each other's signals and movements as they fought. One day, during a particularly grueling session, Alex decided to test their limits. Let's simulate an alien attack, he said, a determined glint in his eye. I want you to act as if your lives depend on it. The group nodded, adrenaline surging as they prepared for the challenge. As they engaged in the simulation, the chaos of battle filled the room. The soldiers moved as a cohesive unit, using their training to protect each other. They shouted commands and encouragement, their voices rising above the clamor of the mock fight. For a moment, they were not just survivors, they were warriors. After the simulation ended, the team collapsed in exhaustion, but their faces were filled with exhilaration. That was incredible, David exclaimed, panting. We really came together as a team. Yes, Alex agreed, smiling. This is what we need. We are growing stronger every day. And when the aliens come again, we will be ready. As the sun set over the facility, casting a warm glow on the group, they felt a deep sense of unity. They had come a long way from the initial fear and uncertainty, transforming into a force to be reckoned with. The bonds they had forged and the strength they had built would guide them into the future, as they prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With hope in their hearts, they were ready to fight for their world. The time had come for Alex and his team to make their next move. After weeks of training and preparation, they felt ready to face the aliens once more. The hidden facility buzzed with energy as everyone gathered in the main hall for one last briefing. Today is not just another mission, Alex began, his voice steady. This is our chance to reclaim our home and show the aliens that we will never give up. The group nodded, determination shining in their eyes. Sarah stood beside Alex, her presence reassuring. We've trained hard, and we know what we're fighting for, she added. Let's make every moment count. The plan was simple but bold. They would strike a key alien base located in the nearby mountains. Intelligence gathered from previous skirmishes indicated that this base was crucial for the aliens' operations on Earth. If they could take it down, they would disrupt the alien supply lines and gain a significant advantage. As they moved toward their target, the team was filled with a mix of excitement and nervousness. They had come a long way since their first battle, but this mission would be different. The stakes were higher, and they knew the aliens would be ready for them. Once they reached the base, they spread out to scout the area. There are fewer guards than I expected, Elena whispered, her eyes scanning the surroundings. This could work in our favor. Let's stick to the plan, Alex replied, pointing to a map he had drawn. We need to take out the communications tower first. That will give us a better chance to move undetected. As they crept closer, Marcus used his tech skills to disable the alarms surrounding the base. All clear, he announced, signaling the team to advance. They moved swiftly, a well-oiled machine ready to strike. Once they reached the tower, Sarah and Elena worked together to plant explosives while Alex kept watch. Their hearts raced as they heard footsteps approaching. "Hurry!" Alex urged, glancing nervously toward the sound. They completed their task just in time, slipping behind cover as an alien guard passed by. With the explosives set, they retreated to a safe distance and waited. "On my count," Alex instructed, raising his hand. 3, 2, 1, go! The explosion rocked the ground, sending debris flying into the air. Smoke filled the area, providing the perfect cover for their advance. "Let's move!" Alex shouted as they rushed into the base, adrenaline coursing through their veins. The chaos from the explosion created confusion among the alien guards. They took advantage of the disorder, pushing deeper into the heart of the base. They faced some resistance, but their training paid off. Each member of the team fought bravely, using their skills to take down the enemy. Elena displayed her combat prowess, expertly disarming alien soldiers while Sarah provided cover fire. As they moved forward, they encountered a large control room filled with alien technology. "This is it!" Marcus exclaimed, eyes wide with excitement. "We can disable their systems from here!" The team quickly set to work. Marcus typed furiously on the alien console, trying to understand their technology. "I need a few minutes," he called out, sweat dripping down his face. Alex and the others defended him, fending off waves of alien reinforcements. It was a fierce battle, but their teamwork shone through. Each member of the team had each other's backs, fighting side by side to protect their own. Finally, Marcus let out a triumphant shout. "I did it! Their systems are down!" The lights flickered and went dark, plunging the room into chaos for the aliens. "Now we have the upper hand!" "Let's finish this," Alex yelled, rallying his team. With renewed energy, they charged toward the exit, ready to confront the remaining aliens. The tide of battle had turned, and they were determined to end this fight. As they exited the base, the sound of their battle cries echoed through the air. They had fought valiantly, and now victory was within reach. Together, they stood united against the aliens, ready to defend their world. With one final push, they overwhelmed the last of the alien forces. As the dust settled, the team surveyed the scene. They had done it. They had taken the base and struck a significant blow against the aliens. Cheers erupted among the group, their faces lit with joy and relief. But amidst the celebration, Alex knew that this was only the beginning. They had achieved a great victory, but the war was not over. "We have to keep fighting," he said, raising his hand to quiet the team. "This is just the first step toward reclaiming our planet. We will rebuild, we will grow stronger, and we will protect what is ours." With a newfound sense of purpose, the team embraced the dawn of a new beginning. Together, they had proven that humanity could rise from the ashes, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As they looked to the future, hope blossomed in their hearts, and they knew they would fight fiercely for their freedom.